day has come to start working on these fenders. So I'm gonna show y'all from pretty much start to finish body work on this fender. Same process I used on everything else. So I'm gonna walk y'all through step by step through all the products and all the stuff that I'm gonna need to get this fender to look like. So it's quite a bit of steps. But the first step right now is I'm gonna strip this thing down to complete bare metal, and then we're gonna go back with some epoxy just to encase everything, seal it all up. And then I have this piece down here. I actually just kind of straightened it out. It was fairly bent. I just bent it up, or straightened it out with a hammer. I'm gonna be welding this back on here. And it goes about so. I guess it just broke off right there at the edge. But that's no big deal. This is the original one, so I'm gonna go back with the original one. It had a dent here, but I actually just fixed it with just a dolly and a hammer, so it's pretty close now. It's gonna need a little bit of mud, but not much. So I already took out the fender wheel. So you can see all the wiring that was tucked behind the fender wheel. It's quite a bit. And that was the reason why I wanted to mock up the fenders first, just to see where all that stuff was gonna go. But anyways, bare metal. So here we go. Well, I got this thing in bare metal, and I gotta say that was not fun at all. Well, I gotta get this little corner here. So this stuff had the original enamel, and man, this stuff stinks. So if y'all ever stripping enamel, make sure y'all put on a mask, because that stuff is full of lead. So I went ahead and welded up these holes here. Flat. Gonna need a little bit of mud, not much. And this hole here is for the new emblem that I'm using. All in all, pretty solid fender. I have a little bit of peppering down here in the corner, which is typical. And this stuff is the most work is gonna be right here around this lip. It's lumpy. Welded on the extension down here. That was ready to go. Just need to hit that little piece there with the Dremel. It went through from the other side, so I gotta get that down. But all in all, good fender. So now that it's stripped, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a couple coats of epoxy. So here's the epoxy that I use. It's from SPI. And here's the activator. So it mixes 1-to-1. And man, this stuff has some awesome reviews. That's all I've used on my car. That's all we use on every other car we've put together so far. And this thing has given us some awesome results. We also use this as a sealer right before the base coat reduced. So let me get this mixed up and start spraying. I got this shot with epoxy. Shot inside and out. The only place I really couldn't get is obviously where the stand is in the middle. But once it dries and I'm able to get it down, I'll give that a good little once over. There it is. It's epoxy now. Doing a little metal work on the rocket today. Working on the fenders. Show you what we got here. Had a pretty bad rusted section right here, so cut that out, added some new metal. So I just need to grind down these other welds, and then be ready for some body work there. Welded out the cross flag holes, grind those down in a minute. Need to fix this little hole here, cut that out, add new metal. Got a pretty bad corner right here. It's typical for these cars, so somebody had done a patch here before. I'm gonna cut this out and put some new metal. I just want to show y'all why it's so important to cut things out, even though they seem like they're not that bad. So this was the top side of that corner right there. Doesn't seem too bad. It could have been knocked down and just body worked. But the right thing to do is to cut it out, and this is why. Look at that. That would have shown its ugly face eventually. Maybe a year, maybe less. but it eventually would have came out. So it's always best to cut this stuff out. This bottom brace right here, I'm gonna wire wheel it, and then I'm gonna put some rust inhibitor here. And then I'm gonna cut a new patch out and weld in a new patch. I'm gonna have to cut out this section as well and rebuild it. But just a little insight there on some rust. Even though it doesn't seem that bad, it's just best to go ahead and cut that stuff out. I welded up my holes here for the cross flags. Got this section done. Just needs body work now. This fender I had previously epoxied it. This fender was actually off a 64 Bel Air, and if some of y'all may know, the Bel Air has one trim right on the body line, and somebody welded up the Bel Air holes, and they were kind of sticking out. So I grinded them down just a little bit. That way, whenever I do the body work, they'll be under the body work. And then I drilled the new holes, the sport scoop holes. You can kind of see the lines where I outlined my own trim. And then I measured these holes off of the other original sport scoop fender that I have. Did these three down here as well. So I'm gonna keep on with this metal work and I'll keep y'all updated. All right, got my new section cut out. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this in. So the patch is done. That's done. Alright, done. Wire wheel the back of it. Wash this thing next. Let it dry real good, and then epoxy the inside and epoxy all the bare metal. So we got 2 coats of epoxy. I mixed enough just to went ahead and sprayed the whole thing. So the metal work's done on this. You even sprayed the inside of it. We got a musical artist over here. So it is completely encased in epoxy. So next for this thing is some serious amount of body work.
I'm gonna paint the inside of the fender so nobody gets misled.
So onto the body work. This is what I use for a filler, and I gotta say, to me personally, this is the best lightweight body filler there is. Rage Gold here is the part number there. It's made by Evercoat, and it comes with this blue hardener. When you mix it, it turns green. So you can see I started with a little bit of mud here. Yeah, Rage Gold, Evercoat. All right, so here's a fender after a lot of body work. So I got this down to, I started with 80 and 180. The whole fender here is in 180. Everything seems to have feathered out really nice at this point. So the next step you want to use is polyester primer. And this is a super build. I really recommend this to anybody who wants their panels to be laser straight. Some have dubbed it as a liquid bondo because it fills in any imperfections that you may have missed. So I do 2 heavy coats of this, block it down 80, 180, and then I do another 2 heavy coats. So I do 2 rounds of this on every panel. I've done that to the whole car, and that's how I've been able to get it as straight as it is. Here it is in the polyester primer. And again, 80, 180, and this is pretty much what it looks like after the 180. So right here, we're ready for some 2K surfacer. And I use this 2K urethane primer surfacer. It's pretty good. It fills up, and it fills up any imperfections as well. And with this, what you want to do is you also want to go 2 rounds with this stuff. And with the first round, you want to start that after it's dry. You want to block it down with 320. Block the whole thing 320, and then respray again another round, the second round. And then after the second round, you want to block it with 400. So after you block it down completely with 400, After the second round, this is what it looks like, and you're ready for the sealer. I use this epoxy primer. It's the SPI primer as a sealer, but it has to be reduced. So once you reduce it, you let it induce for about 30 minutes, and then you're ready to spray. So here it is after 2 coats of the epoxy sealer. As you can see, it has somewhat of a sheen to it, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So even after this dries, I wait till the next day. I let it sit for 1 day, and then I go back. I block them again with 400 for the final time to get any kind of trash out, any kind of nibs, and then I wash them down real good. And then at this point, you're ready.